Welcome to Veganize It. Today, we're making meringues. And what's really cool about this is instead of using eggs, we're using chickpea liquid, also known as aquafaba. To get started, we actually are just gonna take the liquid that comes off of your chickpeas and put it right into our KitchenAid mixer. We just need to whip it up, just like egg whites.
Let's compare. Both our vegan version and the traditional version of meringue cookies clock in at just 4 cents per serving. Our recipe has 2 cookies per serving. Now that's a sweet deal. But if you're making the traditional version and buying premium eggs, those can cost upwards of $6 to $7. So that makes the traditional version more expensive.
So it looks like we've had our stiff peaks form. Perfect. And now we're just gonna stabilize our meringue. And in order to do that, we're gonna add a little bit of sugar, about a tablespoon at a time. And then just continue adding 1 tablespoon at a time. So once you've added in all the sugar, this actually needs to continue to whip until it's really, really glossy, which takes about another 5 minutes. The cool thing about these cookies is we're swapping eggs for aquafaba, which is the liquid found in canned chickpeas. So anytime you pop open a can of chickpeas, save the aquafaba in the fridge. When you're ready to make a meringue, let that aquafaba come to room temperature, then whip just like egg whites. To stabilize them, you can use cream of tartar or sugar, but since we're making cookies, we use sugar. So now this is really, really nice and shiny and glossy, and our last step is to add a little bit of flavoring. I'm using almond extract because I love the smell and the flavor, but it also keeps these meringues really bright white. So just a little bit of extract. Whip this in, and we're ready to go. See, isn't that amazing? Our stiff meringue. And then we're gonna put it into a piping bag. Use your hand like a cradle, just like this. And then you're gonna use the side of your hand to scrape the meringue into the bag. Perfect. Press the meringue down to the bottom, making sure that you don't have any air bubbles. And once you get close to the bottom, you're gonna take your scissors and you wanna keep the tip pretty small. And then because these meringue cookies are so light and you don't want the parchment to fly away, we're gonna take just the tiniest bit of meringue, pipe it onto the 4 corners, and that'll help keep the parchment down so that it won't fly away. Okay, now it's the last part, which is my favorite, which is making the meringue cookies. So we're just gonna pipe them. When you're piping, you wanna make sure you're squeezing at the top here, not pressing here because you don't wanna push your meringue back up. So you're actually just squeezing from your top hand. This hand is just guiding. Now these aren't gonna spread, but you still wanna give them a little bit of space.
One important thing to note is BPA. BPA is a lining used in some cans and plastics. Since we're using aquafaba for this recipe, the liquid that comes in the can of chickpeas, be sure to choose chickpeas that come in BPA-free cans. And since you're already opening up that can to use the liquid, don't throw away the chickpeas, like you would do with the egg yolks if you're making a traditional version of this. Instead, put those chickpeas to use in salads, hummus, or even grain bowls. Chickpeas are truly versatile and absolutely delicious. This is a great way to reduce food waste while also using that liquid that you would have otherwise tossed down the drain.
Okay, these look amazing. Let's get them into the oven so they can bake for about an hour until they're dry and crispy, and then we'll shut off the oven and they'll sit in there for about an hour more to make sure they're perfect. Meringues, whether vegan or not, are already a lightened up cookie. Both versions are low in calories, but our vegan meringue has just 5 calories per cookie, and also 2 grams less added sugar per serving. Here are our beautiful vegan meringue cookies. I really like to serve them with a little bit of fresh fruit, just because they're so white and just to punch it up with a little bit of color, but they're perfect with a glass of tea or some coffee or maybe just a nibble after dinner. But like any great recipe, it's all about the photo, and that's perfect. Special thanks to our vegan expert, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Veganize It.